This video is about self-esteem. Have you ever wondered what exactly is self-esteem? How do you increase your self-esteem? And how do you start feeling better about yourself? So what I will tell you, self-esteem is a byproduct. Now wait, because I'm sure you've never heard this before, but I'm going to just tell you like it is. Self-esteem is a byproduct of how much you love yourself. Have you ever heard that before? I know many people have not. Okay, so let me explain. So self-esteem is based on your self-talk, what you say to yourself day in and day out. So let me give you an example. If you're living life and you're very hard on yourself, you never feel completely satisfied with yourself, you always are kind of self-critical, you're kind of down on yourself, what's going to happen is you're not going to feel good about yourself. And you're not even going to realize it because you don't even realize the stuff that you say to yourself in your mind day in and day out. I know because I used to do it, and mostly everyone does this and doesn't realize it. We are our own worst critics. We're so hard on ourselves. It could be, I should be farther along in life. It should be, I should be doing this. It should be, I should be making more money. I should be in a relationship. I should be married. I should have kids. It should, like all these shoulds, right? And so by thinking these things, we're actually holding ourselves back because we're being down on ourselves. So if you're down on yourself, how are you going to feel? You're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel motivated. You're not going to feel like you can take on the world. You're going to feel the opposite. And if you feel the opposite, which feels bad, which feels like fear, which feels like worry, which feels like stress, if you feel those things, it's going to kill your self-esteem because what you're doing in those moments is that you're not loving yourself. Day in and day out, you're not loving yourself. And you're not loving yourself because you're thinking crappy thoughts about you personally, what you should be doing, what you could be doing, what other people think about you, what your parents think about you. It's all about everything outside yourself. So the most important thing to increase your self-esteem is you need to love yourself. I know it sounds really cheesy and simple, or it sounds really cheesy. And even when I tell my clients or I work with someone one-on-one and I talk about self-love, I get it. Everyone hears it. It's all over social media, like you gotta love yourself. No one even knows what that means. Loving yourself is changing the way you talk to yourself. So it's changing, and the first part of changing the way you talk to yourself, it's about recognizing what you're doing. It's about being aware of it. So in the beginning, as you change the way you talk to yourself, you're not going to be able to be all great at it and be perfect and be like, oh, I'm going to switch, I'm going to start loving myself, right away. And it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy in the beginning because you've never done it before, but it's the awareness of what you're doing. So once you realize that you're aware that you're really hard on yourself, which everyone is, you're going to become more aware of changing it. Now, when you change your self-talk, what does that look like? It looks like day in and day out, appreciating yourself, liking what you see in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, maybe you don't love everything. That's normal. But look for the things that you love. Everyone has beautiful eyes. Everyone has beautiful eyes. Everyone has beautiful eyes. Your smile, your lips, your hair, your skin. It sounds silly, I know, but it's about looking in the mirror and not looking for your flaws. It's about looking in your mirror and liking what you see, even if there are things you don't. What I always love to say is, there's only one you, right? And so in this lifetime, you're a unique you. And maybe there are things you don't love, but you must love them in order to feel good. So changing the way you talk to yourself by looking in the mirror, by when you're out and about with your friends, are you complaining or are you talking about the good stuff in your life? Chances are you're probably complaining. Why? Because that used to be me. I used to complain a lot too. I didn't like my job. I didn't like the people I worked with. I didn't like my boss. I was a complainer. I'm not anymore, thank God, but I understand why you do it. And I understand, what happens when you change it, how things can really change for you. So self-esteem is a byproduct of loving yourself. The nicer you are to yourself on a daily basis by changing your self-talk, the more your self-esteem is going to rise. What that means is the more motivated you're going to be, the better you're going to feel, the more things that you're going to want to accomplish, the more things that you're going to believe that you can accomplish. That's where motivation comes. It comes from having self-esteem. The other thing about self-esteem is once you love yourself and once you have increased self-esteem, then you're not sensitive when you mess up, when you make a mistake. You're not down on yourself. Instead, you're like, wow, I made a mistake, and guess what? I just need to move on, because I could be down on myself and hard on myself, which is only going to hold me back, or I could use this mistake as experience to use it as fuel to move forward. And that's what I want you to do. So your self-esteem, which is your internal knowing that you are amazing, that you are unique, that you are into this lifetime meant to thrive and be happy and go after life and go after your crazy wild dreams. You are meant to do that. But don't kill your self-esteem by killing yourself by the mental crap you think about yourself. It's about changing that. When you change the way you think about yourself, you feel better. When you feel better, you feel more confidence. Your self-esteem rises and you go after life in a bigger, better way. Every person is born happy, confident, with kudos self-esteem. It's us who kills it as we live life and we take other people's opinions to be more important than our own. It's when we compare ourselves to others. It's where we're hard on ourselves. And I don't want you to do it, because that is the only reason why you're not farther along in life. That's the only reason why you're not as happy as you could be. It's because of what you do to yourself in your mind and you don't even know it.